Good morning. Welcome back to the cult. We're talking to the guys from the DGen protocol today. They are, Donnie and Black Sheep are here to talk to us about the GOAT protocol. Morning, boys. How are we today?
Morning, good.
Doing well.
Another sunny day. It's only 85 here in Vegas. That's pretty awesome, isn't it, for this time of year?
I love it.
What's the weather like over there down under?
Actually, at the moment, it's a little bit cloudy for this morning. Looks like we might get some rain, but otherwise it has been heating up because we're coming into summer very shortly. Yeah, it's been getting very warm, but no, otherwise, nice.
Yeah.
We do the old trade-off with Johnny this time of year.
Oh yeah. Because, I'm still looking forward to Halloween because that's when it gets awesome here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like that day it just immediately drops.
Yeah,
it looks like we got
it's like the magic day.
A lot of people out there. Welcome and thank you for joining the AMA.
Yes.
Donnie, do you have anything you want to say to get us started or?
Oh, for the people that don't know you guys, why don't you give us like a brief intro? What is the DGen protocol? Maybe how it gets started.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I can take that. I'm Crypto Black Sheep. My name is Chris. They call me Crypto Black Sheep. I started this. I got into crypto about May of 2017, and being in and out of several different projects. I kind of formulated this group about December 15th of 2017, and that's basically we've just been a powerhouse, family ever since we started. We've been in and out of just about every rug pulling scam you can think of. We've been in some of the best projects that have come over the years, and we've been in some of the worst. So, but we never gave up. Like 3 years ago, I was living in a shed. Now I'm not. now my life's changed a little bit, and I've just always been one to just spread the wealth and the knowledge of what I've learned over the years, bring it to my community, and over the years we've gotten bigger. We've gotten a lot more people in here. We got Donnie somewhere along the way, great developer who decided to come in and help us out with a couple of projects. We had our original sheep token, which is actually started on Crow, moved to BSC later on. That one was kind of one of those timing issues where we started our project basically at the top of like Kronos was like almost $1, I think, and it was all downhill from there. So we definitely learned some lessons along the way. Our sheep token is by no means like we're just giving up on it. It's just on the back burner right now, building up some nice liquidity in the elephant money ecosystem. While we build those bags over there, we decided to focus on a new project that's coming to Pulsechain. And Johnny, maybe you can lead and tell us all about what this is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first I'm just going to give. Yeah, I'm going to give. Thank you.
Give you the 2 cent tour, the 2 cent Donnie tour. I can't talk.
Cool. Cheers, guys. So I'm Don Function, or you can call me Donnie. I got started in crypto in like 2019, I think it is. Basically just sort of trading little coins here and there. Started using my skills of like web development and that sort of thing in 2020. Got with a few projects here and there. I actually got my real start on BSC with a project which some of you might know as Gangster Finance, and that was under the wing of Koz out there from Sidekick. Shout out, bro. Thank you very much. I got with DGen Protocol about a year and a half ago, and basically stepped on board to help them with Sheep Token, which used the ERC 31337 technology, which was demonstrated again by the boys at Sidekick. But so then, like Sheep said, we started on Crow, moved to BNB, and now we're building out on Pulsechain, just trying to expand our ecosystem. So we've been, like I said, we've been working hard on both GOAT Token and the GOAT Feeder for the past couple of weeks.
Okay.
So, very excited.
Wonderful. So I guess this is the part I asked, what is GOAT Token?
So GOAT token is basically the core token of Degen Protocol on Pulsechain. What's to remember is that everything that will happen on chain for Degen Protocol, it will have GOAT token at the center. It's a fork of the Trumpet contract from Elephant Money. And the idea is that it is backed with a single asset, which is known as W Pulse or wrapped Pulse. So GOAT token is a regular ERC20 or PRC20, if you will, that has no buy, sell, or transfer fees. But it is minted and redeemed, and with that is where the W Pulse comes in. You cannot mint GOAT token without depositing W Pulse, and when you redeem GOAT token, that is kind of burning it out of circulation and supply, you get a certain amount of Pulse back as well. That's determined by a ratio of W Pulse to the total supply of GOAT token, and that ratio can only permanently increase. That is up and to the right. Okay, basically there is a 5% fee on the amount of W Pulse on minting and redemption of the GOAT token, and that W Pulse, which is taken in the fee and locked behind or left as part of the W Pulse to the total supply ratio, basically that pushes that price, like I said, up and to the right with single asset backing. The supply is elastic because there is no cap. There is no point of like totally deflating rather. Can't speak this morning. But overall, it's like I said, the crown jewel of Degen Protocol on Pulsechain. So yeah, that's pretty much GOAT in a nutshell.
Okay. What for people that aren't really familiar with Trumpet, can you liken it to something else, or
right?
Explain it for us, please.
So Trumpet of the Elephant Money ecosystem is a specialized contract that deals with the Trunk token. If you are not familiar with Trunk, that is a stablecoin which at present is actually under peg as part of Elephant Money. But Trumpet is one of those peripheral contracts designed to help bring it back up to peg. So yeah, it's a really simple concept. Anyone who's dealt with Degen Protocol or an elite token before would probably be able to liken it to the X token concept, but with a 5% fee in and out, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's relatively simple technology. Like I said, it's just single asset backing against a token. And the token cannot be inflated without the appropriate backing being put behind it.
Is there what sort of deflationary methods are there? Is there?
The only deflationary method is, like I said, redemption of the tokens. So let's say you had 100 GOAT tokens in your wallet, and on the page there, you type in the redeem GOAT box 100, and then hit the redeem button. That would basically burn the GOAT tokens, and you'd receive 100 times 1.801, right? Which, as you can see in the main user panel, in the top row in the middle section there, that's the current single asset price of GOAT token, right? So when you mint and redeem, it is at that cost and price.
The 1.7 Pulse?
No. Okay, so that's actually slightly different. Look in the middle there. You're looking at 1.801. I'll explain that second price in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, like I said, it inflates only when you deposit the correct amount of Pulse, and it deflates when you're ready to redeem your GOAT token. Other than that, it's just another regular ERC20, like I said, with no fees to buy, sell, or transfer on third-party DEXs, which actually brings us to that second price there as well, which is on the right-hand side. So what you're seeing with those two numbers, 1.801 and 1.725, is what we like to call an arbitrage opportunity, right? So you've got the single asset price in the middle, which, as you can see, is slightly higher than the one on the right. And the one on the right is actually the DEX price, okay? That's the price of GOAT against Pulse on the Pulse X swap on Pulsechain. Okay. So basically, there's an opportunity here where, see, you got your controls of buy and sell goat just a little bit further down the page. You've also got your mint and redeem goat controls. So you remember how I said that you mint and redeem at that certain price? Well, buying and selling on the DEX, that happens at that price. So you can see that right now you could buy the tokens cheaper on the DEX. So you're not minting fresh tokens, but you're buying existing tokens at that cheaper price on the DEX. And then you can come back to the website here and you can redeem the GOAT tokens at the higher native asset price or single asset price, which is 1.801, making a clear opportunity of arbitrage, if that makes sense, because you're buying them cheaper and selling them more expensive. Quite simply, it's a free market mechanic where, there's zero control or mechanisms to manage the LP side of things of GOAT token. That one is entirely left up to autonomous community or holder activity and provision. All the DGEN protocol focuses on is the first-party price of 1.801 or whatever that happens to be, the single asset price.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get an arbitrage opportunity every now and then between these two pools. Right now, the pools are too close with the 5% fee on this that it's not going to get you much. It's not going to get you any profit yet. But if someone were to dump on the Pulsechain exchange, which we get that, and that's what gives you your arbitrage opportunity. When this goes down to probably like a 1.6, then you can buy on the DEX and then redeem it for an instant arbitrage profit at the 1.8.
Is that something that's attractive to bots? I'm trying to figure out who's going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely, because bots are going to come in there and get a hold of that price action, up or down. We're expecting a lot of bot traffic because of the way we got these liquidity pools coming up. Seems to be anything that's paired with the Tropa gets a lot of volume, so we're definitely going to go that route. I
was going to ask about that. That's on my list, the Tropa thing.
Yeah. That's basically the market maker for Pulsechain.
Right.
The maker DAO. Yeah. So it's they're doing a ton of volume and doing a lot of great things in the space and.
But from my limited understanding of Atropa, just being paired with it doesn't necessarily mean it burns the token it's paired with, right? Or am I confused?
No,
that part I don't know. Go ahead, Don.
It's not. Yeah, see, now that's a common misconception. Just because you pay your token with Atropa or something like that doesn't mean that you're going to have a rising price, right? What you got to understand is that there is a very methodical approach that is being taken by Atropa and what it's doing to massage and move liquidity between all the different tokens and pairs that it has. So if you're not moving in concert with what they're trying to do, then it has no reason to be buying your token, right? You can't just create a pair with it and, call it a day and be like, all right, guys, well, come back tomorrow. We're going to be rich. It just doesn't happen like that.
Why not? Why not?
I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it? Everybody would be just, everybody would be swimming.
Yeah.
Forgive me for going on a side tangent here, but I think you're one of the few people that can actually explain Atropa to me in a way I can understand, and perhaps other people can, because I've been trying to wrap my head around it, and I really can't, sir. Do you mind giving me like a 2-second Donnie's take on Atropa?
Yeah. So basically, recently on Pulsechain, you might have seen that there's a lot of action surrounding PDAI, which is the DAI contract address from Ethereum, which got copied over as part of Ethereum state to Pulsechain. So there is now a token with a certain total supply, and all of the operating contracts got copied over as well, which is that of DAI from MakerDAO. People have been buying it in a massive rally over the past several months now, at least in trying to bring that DAI copy up to the price of $1. And there was a party that came into the picture known as Atropa. Atropa originally was just the name of the first token that happened to pair up with DAI that did any sort of serious price movement or action. And what a lot of people found in the Pulsechain communities is that the Atropa dev wallet, which is what it's commonly known as, or the 414 address, it seems to act with a degree of benevolence in that it gathers up massive liquidity, it burns the LP tokens to the 0 address, and it just keeps on doing things that seem to build liquidity and raise the value of the DAI token that got copied over. Now, nobody knows who the Atropa dev is. Nobody has any credible information on who it might be. But it's... I think my take on it is that it's an interesting demonstration of what can be done on one's own accord. You know, nobody asked anyone to do this. Nobody asked anyone to bring DAI to PEG or anything like that. And it's not just DAI either. It's all the native assets that got copied over as well. It is interesting the way that they're doing it.
It's got like a MEV bot connected to it, right? Where that's doing arbitrage or something like that.
I don't think it's a MEV bot. There was something that surfaced on Twitter, though, about them using what's called a market maker keeper bot, which is an open source creation by MakerDAO. And what it allowed Atropa to do is basically create like a list of parameters and bands of prices that the tokens should trade at or range between. And this bot would basically sort of orchestrate that with control of LP tokens. I don't know exactly how it works, but it is very, very interesting, some of the stuff that's been coming around.
Yeah, it's quite beautiful. I've been trying to wrap my head around it so far, but thank you.
Yeah,
that did help me.
Deep stuff.
Yeah, really no problem.
How do you think knowing that, do you think there's anything that you guys can do to, is there a way to get the Tropa, whatever protocol thing to notice the GOAT token? I don't know if forgive me if I'm asking a dumb question.
No, you're fine. So to be perfectly honest, one of the best ways that we could do that is by using the native behaviors that GOAT token has between the first and third party prices there. Like I said, there's the arbitrage opportunities which come up between those two price points on a very frequent basis. So someone can buy cheaper and redeem higher, or mint cheaper and then sell higher. And basically, because of those 2 points of price moving continually up and to the right, realistically, GOAT is going to be one of those things that turns out to be, probably a good thing to hold, whether you mint it or whether you buy it from the DEX. But, realistically, getting noticed by Atropa isn't our primary goal. Our primary goal will always be the raising of that single asset price. That is like literally the focus and the core of how everything's going to work out of this one, as you'll understand when we get to explaining the GOAT feeder.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds like a perfect segue. Why don't we go there?
No problem. Yeah, the great thing about the GOAT token is we can integrate it anywhere. We can pair it with anything. We don't have to worry about the transfer tax, the buy and sell tax. We can go into any pool, and we can have our face out there everywhere. So it's,
I love the no buy and sell tax thing.
I know, and like you can send it to somebody and not lose anything. You can hold it in your wallet, and it's just like you're holding an ERC20.
Okay.
We got the GOAT feeder here. The GOAT feeder basically is a copy of it's a fork, whatever you want to call it, a clone of the what do you call it? The futures contract over there at Elephant Money, right? Yep. So this basically it's DAI in, DAI out, okay, and it's basically 0.5% a day on your cash. Now the only difference between this is like your regular, your regular, like, I guess, quote unquote ROI DApp, is that this, every time you withdraw, it comes out of your balance, kind of like a savings account or like a bond at the bank or something like that, or like a 401k. If you pull from it, it's going to pull from your main balance, and then you make less, right? So that's kind of the idea of this. If you want to deposit, it has to be a minimum of $200. If you want to compound anything that's in here, it has to be a minimum of $200. So it always feeds fresh capital into the system. And for sustainability, I mean, like this model is probably one of the most sustainable models I've ever seen, because if somebody just comes in here and they just decided to make a deposit and then they withdraw it every day, just draining the system, it would literally take them about 3 years to ROI their bag. Take them 2 to 3 years. So that automatically right out the gate makes it super, super sustainable just from that. And we got a little bug to fix here because this is not supposed to go over $1 million, but I hacked it today and made it go over. So that's the whole point of testnet, is to fix these little bugs that come up every once in a while. But yeah, we're on top of that today, right after this.
The max you can deposit is 1 mil. Is that what that is?
Yeah, 1 mil, and then the max you can withdraw is 2.5 mil. So
so
super.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically 150% profit or something like that. So yeah, we think just this alone is so sustainable. Just adding it to the goat token itself, it's going to have legs right out the gate. You know what I'm saying, Donnie? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, let me get this one.
Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, like Sheep explained, the goat feeder takes DAI in and it puts DAI out. Basically, on deposit, like futures, it uses 90% of what comes in and it throws it into somewhat of a treasury arrangement, and it keeps 10% of the stable that's coming in a buffer pool to process the claims that someone might make at any given time. So with the 90% that comes in, what happens is it gets swapped into W Pulse and then into DAI. It's important to note that in the goat feeder arrangement, getting started, because of how close we are to getting started with this one, we'll be using the bridged DAI token to begin with. But upon PDAI, which we were talking about before, reaching the peg of $1, we'll be considering switching over to PDAI instead, since that is a native stablecoin and would be a lot safer overall. We can get into why later on about that. But anyway, so it gets turned into W Pulse, gets turned into DAI. Sorry, gets turned into W Pulse and then into Goat token, right? So the W Pulse mints Goat token, and the Goat gets thrown into the Goat pen over there, which is currently at a balance of 8,454.
8 million.
So, 8 million.
8 million.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's I got blurry on a decimal place there. Never mind. Yeah, 8.4 million Goat tokens in the Goat pen right now. So, considering the mechanics of Goat token, that the single asset ratio / price or whatever can only go upways because of that minting and redemption fee, right? It can be sort of understood that the Goat tokens kept in the Goat pen, which is going to pay out the liabilities of those that are in the Goat feeder, basically that single asset price continually rising from the volume of first and third party market, like buying, selling, minting, redemption, all of that sort of thing. Basically, that's sort of what's going to drive it upwards and make it able to pay out not only the 200 from the 200 days that people will take to ROI for playing the game properly, but also the further 165 days of 0.5% per day liabilities. Yeah, that's basically how Goat Feeder works. There is also a referral mechanism that is attached to it, which I believe in Elephant Money terms is known as sponsorship or whatever. You can basically set a second wallet or a friend's address as your referrer. And then I think it's 1% of whatever you claim is then shared between you and your referrer. And that goes to the pending rewards section, which is the up in the user panel.
Yep. Oh yeah, right here. Yep. Pending rewards.
Yeah, pending rewards. That's right. So that's where the rewards go for you and your referrer.
And that's that only happens when they claim or when they deposit it.
That's right. So that only happens when you claim, right? But there's a good reason for that. Basically, that number builds up, the pending rewards, and those pending rewards can only be claimed right, by doing a fresh compound, which is another 200 DAI deposit into the goat feeder, and then those pending rewards are added to your balance as well, right?
Okay, so just me in there to compound, I have to add fresh capital, and
Correct.
for me to grab my ref rewards, I have to add fresh capital.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Well, see, look at it like this, right? Okay, so look at it like this. Now it sounds very absurd, and let me tell you. So referral systems are a liquidity leak in traditional terms, right? Referral systems always take a cut of something, and it always has to go to someone else, and there's no sustainability in it. So we did it differently. Elephant Money did it differently. You know, if you want those referral rewards, you got to fuel them. Come on.
How did Elephant do it? I don't know the difference. But
quite literally like that.
That meme.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, the chart speaks for itself.
You know, there is that. So, realistically, between Elephant Money's futures and the goat feeder contracts, which we've just shown off there's really not too much of a difference. I'd say the really operational pieces that we've changed is as I explained, what happens when someone deposits. And then, of course, when someone claims, we've changed that up as well so that if the buffer pool needs to be topped up in that process, it will redeem some of the goat that is held in the goat pen, which is then turned into Pulse, buys the DAI, tops up the pool, and then pays someone out.
That chart turns me on so much.
I know, man. It's so ridiculous.
Oh, bank teller. Teller. I love you.
So
he's actually been advising us the entire time while we've been building out these contracts as well.
So can I speak about a rumor I heard? Is this the rumored?
Sure.
Is this the rumored project with BT's blessing? You know, like that, like a Godfather's kiss. Is this the rumored project I've been hearing about?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we've been friends since like February of 2018. Like we got a private chat with him where he's advised us on this.
Yeah, I like BT.
That and the other.
I like BT quite a bit. Yeah, I think he's got quite a keen mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, is he going to be involved in any other way? So officially, he's giving his blessing. Is there going to be any other?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. He's helping us out with a code review in the next couple of days. We're going to get together with him to discuss what we've actually changed in the contracts, let him sort of review that. Basically, when we first started discussing the idea of creating Goat and the Goat feeder, we actually got into chat with him and said, well, hey, look, we actually want to copy the Elephant token contracts, right? Which is those reflective rewards and everything else. And he's like, well, hold on a second. I've actually got a better idea. Why don't you use the Trumpet contract? And here's why. And then so for all of the mechanical reasons which we've gone over today, that's basically what he explained to us is like how it could grow in that way. And so we just kind of made it happen. Beautiful. He's, like I said, providing advice along the way for development. So,
oh my God, look at that! A developer, when people want to build on their product, they don't tell you you're a pariah. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right?
Sorry, not to pick on you. Okay, so
I think the biggest thing we're banking on with Pulsechain is that the price of Pulsechain is going to exponentially move up over the next couple of years. I see us knocking off at least a 0, 2 zeros, or if not more. I mean, just what I've seen with Hex and stuff in the past.
I don't know. I think the SEC thing was like a blessing in disguise. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As soon as that's all done and over with, I mean, you're going to see Pulsechain do some gnarly things. So we're definitely excited about this.
Looking forward to all of our friends building out on Pulsechain. Actually, there is just some incredible activity out there. There's like already so many DEXs, so many different DeFi protocols.
Yeah.
DGen protocol actually got put on one of the graphics or whatever by the influencers as a DeFi project. So not a meme coin, not a whatever unknown. No, we're in the DeFi category. So that's pretty cool, I think.
That's beautiful. Tell me about tokenomics.
Tokenomics, yeah. So realistically, it's as easy as we'd explained before with Goat Token and how that works. Like, there's no fee to buy and sell on a DEX or transfer between wallets. The only fees that apply is the 5% of Pulse amount on mint and redemption. But that just means that basically every token that is minted, as the supply of GOAT increases, so too does the correct amount of collateral to back whatever tokens are minted. And that's in W Pulse. So GOAT token basically will ride up and down with the price of Pulse, obviously with that single asset backing. But there is also, like I said, because of there being no encumbrances or anything like that, in terms of regular ERC20 functionality, someone can trade, create liquidity, do whatever they want with GOAT token out there, and there's pretty much no limitations on that. You know, if they pay to mint them or buy them from somewhere, then they're theirs to do whatever they want with. So yeah.
Yep, and here's our little plug right here on the DeFi borrowing yield and stake category.
Your logo stands out. I dig it. I dig it.
I like it.
Very cool. Is there anything all the liquidity that's going to be on the platform? Are you planning on doing anything with that liquidity? Is there going to be any back end earning somewhere? Rehypothecation,
So,
dirty word.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
we have plans for just about every project we build to have revenue streams pumping into it eventually. But
absolutely, yeah.
Because I
Having said this, however,
shouldn't have it. There's too many opportunities.
Yeah, that's right.
There.
With regards to liquidity, what's important to remember is that, like I said, the only liquidity that's actually sort of involved at the first party level is the Pulse that's backing the GOAT token. So that's kept safe inside of the GOAT contract, and it literally can only be moved by the minting of GOAT token. The function name is literally called mint with backing. You can't mint without backing at all. And the same goes for burning. So, yeah, it's pulse in, pulse out. Simple as that.
Beautiful. So, no rehypothecation. Where are the dev fees? Where? Because I didn't notice.
No dev fees. No dev fees.
No.
So how do you guys get paid?
Regular participation, like everybody else.
This is a fair launch, man. No dev fees, no
basically
team tokens, no that stuff.
No team tokens, no dev fees, no marketing fees, nothing. Just straight up,
community
participation like everybody else. Because the way that we're basically going to do this, and the way that we've been running and planning is, at the moment we have the full production running on Pulsechain testnet, which is almost properly debugged, like Sheep mentioned with the thing on Feeder before. We do have some things to look at still, but overall, we've got everything running on testnet on all cylinders. But as soon as we're happy with that, we'll be going to mainnet, and we're just going to grab GOAT and GOAT Feeder and all of the relative contracts necessary for that, and just all in one big go. Just let the market figure itself out. Let everybody go ham. Yep.
So, GOAT lending. What's that?
Yeah, that one is an interesting concept, which we'll be working on after GOAT Feeder and all of that sort of thing is out there on mainnet. But basically, the idea is that GOAT token, think about the way that the single asset price continues to only go up and to the right. Okay, and it literally only can do that because of the contract mechanics, right? Basically, that's what we sort of thought about. Makes GOAT token a perfect collateral asset in that you can put it down at a certain value, And given that, Pulse doesn't completely shit the bed, then it'd be reasonable to sort of say that the rising single asset price of the token sort of heals a debt in a way, right? Because it could be worth $100 what GOAT tokens I put down one day, but then because of that rising ratio price, it's worth a whole lot more than that, because when someone redeems the tokens, they'd be getting more. So we're sort of
very similar to Elephant and theirs.
Yeah, so I don't know that Elephant have a lending thing, so to speak, but like basically, we're just looking at ways that to take advantage of that single asset price, really.
Beautiful. Okay. What about borrow Pulse against and explain how the NFTs are going to work? I'm curious. I'm kind of trying to, like, in the back of my head, trying to figure out how taking a loan is going to mint an NFT and how paying it back is going to work, and what'll happen.
Right. So we're not entirely sure where the NFTs tie into it. It was more like I guess like a feature request from the community while we were brainstorming it one day. We were in the DGen Protocol voice chat, and we were talking about the idea of the lending protocol, and then one of our people said, "Hey, well, is there some way we can tie NFTs into it?" So we're trying to think about whether it's the position of debt that's inscribed to an NFT. So, you can sort of sell your debt to someone else, if that makes sense, or sell your entitlement to GOAT tokens upon loan paid, if that makes sense. It's an interesting concept. We have no idea if it'd work. It's going to take a while to develop, but like I said, it is definitely something that we've thought about would work given the tokenomics of GOAT. So, yeah.
Since we're on the topic of NFTs, the DJ NFTs, can I liken those to the Elephant Unlimited NFTs as well, or did you change anything there?
So that one, we're not entirely sure exactly how that's going to turn out, but it does look like an attractive model to follow. Because it does draw a lot of value in whenever someone mints, and then the Elephant ones, they have like every 10,000 mints the price doubles, right?
Right.
I don't know if we want to exactly mimic that because there's already a lot of Elephant's tech that we're borrowing, obviously.
Right.
But
well, I mean,
but at the same time, like I've said to the other guys, why reinvent the wheel when there's working code out there?
Right, and not only that, this is DeFi is blockchain. It's Legos. It's like art Legos. It's code art. It's this weird new thing where you could just take these little pieces and put them together in weird new ways, and then boom, you have something awesome. So,
isn't that fun?
Is it? Yeah, I wish I could learn to code. I keep trying to, but that's a different tangent. But anyways, I just find it beautiful that to think about it this way, because it's literally art. Imagine we have art in the world. People do go out and make books. People go out and make paintings. But with blockchain, people go out and make code. But not only is that piece of art itself, people can use it to build on top and enhance, and it's fucking beautiful. I fucking love it. I wish that I could fully immerse myself in the whole thing, but I guess I'll be satisfied. I should just be satisfied with having just a general overview of what it can do and seeing where it can lead to. Instead of being like you actually building it, which is beautiful, sir. Anyways,
I mean, hey, that's really cool. It's actually refreshing to hear someone so enthusiastic about like learning to code or learning to understand it. Usually speaking, I'm telling people, hey, you need to understand what you're getting into, and they're like, oh, Donnie, that's just development stuff. We don't want to know about it. We just want to use it. And it's like, all right, well, whatever.
But I think of you guys as I think of developers as like the kids in the playground playing with the Lego blocks and being like, look what the fuck I came up with. That's cool. I just think that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm envious of you guys a little. Okay, so no dev fees. No dev fees. We went over the tokenomics. what I see here, Spark Swap. How's that going to work? Because you
So
kind of work with two of my favorite people here. Like I love AJ.
Yeah,
Ben Curler's super
yeah,
cool.
cool.
So
So
basically,
what's that
like I
about?
mentioned before, with regards to third-party markets being entirely independent, you know, what we think is interesting about Goat Token and how it works is that pairs and liquidity can be created anywhere. You know, first on PulseX is where we might create the pair, but then there's Spark Swap as well, which we'll probably end up creating a pair on if they have their own liquidity system. You know, there's also forks of the balancer protocol on Pulsechain as well, which is called FUX or PHUX, right? And so that one operates on a slightly different model, but again, we can create a pool over there, you know, and put GOAT in it with you know a second or third or fourth and fifth assets, because that's the way that one works. Overall, what we're trying to highlight is that the token is workable with just about anything. We have reached out to AJ as well, and we basically asked him, hey, you know, what are you guys doing with Spark Swap, and is there a way we can work together? And basically, he reached back to us and said, well, hey, look, when are you guys going to be ready? So, you know, basically, that's more of a placeholder, letting you guys know that we are reaching out to all of our people out there. We do want to start working with as many other projects on Pulsechain and as many of our friends as we can, because, yeah, things work better when you row in the same direction.
Well said. So you guys don't have any plans for having farms of your own or anything like that, and you're not gonna. You already have your decks. You're not gonna turn that into. You're not gonna. You know, like, there's no goat decks in the works.
No, there's no GOAT decks in the works. Not at this stage anyway. There hasn't been any murmurings of anything like that. We did come up with an interesting idea of a unique style of single asset staking for other tokens out there, but that's probably something that we'll share more about once there's more discussion on the matter.
You know I like
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah, I know, but some things are better left behind the curtain for now.
Whatever. Let's go back a little bit, though. Let's go circle back around. You said you would explain why you went with one die versus another. Why not go with the unpegged one, since by all indication, it seems like it's just a matter of when. Wouldn't that be more advantageous to go with the underpegged versus the pegged version?
That is a brilliant question, but let me tell you why not. So, first of all, we want people to have stability straight out of the gate, and we feel like we're going to be ready and at production before P-Die reaches peg, right? Right now, one die, in terms of bridge die, buys a lot of pulse, right? One P-Die at the moment doesn't really buy a lot of pulse, okay? And the way that the feeder works is that we want a lot of pulse, because a lot of pulse mints a shitload more GOAT tokens, right? More GOAT tokens means more ease of paying liabilities later on down the track, because more volume, more ratio, etc., etc. So we start with the one that is at peg, and that increases the value overall that's incoming, right? When P-Die reaches peg, we want to think about switching over to that, and there's a very good reason for that. So while people are bridging in from Ethereum and out to Ethereum, the bridge is creating synthetic tokens on both sides, representing these values that it's transmitting between the two chains, right? But there's a problem. All of the liquidity backing these synthetic tokens is in bridge contracts, right? Not very cool, okay? Pulsechain, like a lot of other chains out there, will start to thrive when it has what we like to identify as a native stablecoin. That is a stablecoin contract or setup that doesn't have liquidity dependent on like a bridge or a farm or something like that. You know, DAI, USDC, USDT, on each chain that it appears on, it's got its own independent contracts that then represent its own total supply and have its own backing and collateral system. So if something were to happen to the bridge, like a bridge hack, for example, and the DAI is pinched from out in the middle of it, then all of the E DAI, which is DAI bridge from Ethereum is basically worthless, right? But PDAI at Peg would be fine because it's not dependent on the bridge holding its liquidity safe. It's got all of its liquidity and market backing from the native volume on the chain, right? So that's sort of why we want to start with one, because of the value, but then once the other reaches the correct price, we'll switch over for the finalized safety.
Okay. Thank you. That explains my question. That answers my question. All right. I've got a question for both of you, but you, right. Donnie,
Sheep first.
Okay, I'll go with Sheep first. You, Sheep, as the you know, the brains, the honcho, and knowing that this has so many pieces, what's your favorite part about it? And not necessarily favorite part. What are you looking forward to the most about this protocol? And for you, Donnie, as a tech, which part of the tech gets you the horniest? So go.
Yeah, well, what I'm most excited about is just that we're bringing something new to the community and to Pulsechain that I think has the capability of running a very long time and changing a lot of lives, you know, for the better. You know, we've been around the block. We've seen all these other projects come and go, and there's just a few, you know, really just a couple that have stood out over the years that we want to just like you know, grab the torch and keep running, you know, because I feel like DeFi is getting a little boring sometimes to myself, when I like if we bring something that's homegrown from our community, you know, and just our community alone is just amazing. You know, I know it's going to do great because we always do great, and I just want to kind of spread us out and you know, get more people to join the family and change more lives. And you know, that's my main goal, man. This isn't about me. At the end of the day, this has always been about my community. Anything that we've launched, like even Sheep, I threw $150,000 of my own money in there and never got a dime of it out. You know, it's just, you know, we were hoping that things would go a little bit better than they did, but there, you know, we got a bright future ahead of us. So we're definitely not anybody out there holding Sheep. Just keep holding. You know, we definitely have plans to bring it back, but there's you know, it's just going to take time. You know, we've learned a lot from our mistakes, and we just want to assure everybody that we're moving forward, and everything's gonna be good from here. I feel like the sustainability of this thing right out the gate is going to have legs, and it's gonna run, and it's gonna continue to run. And the only thing I don't like about just the testnet environment in general is because testnet Pulse right now is like $1.59 or something like that last time I checked. So it's messing up our ratio coming in here. We expect when this goes to mainnet on Pulsechain, this ratio is going to fly, because right now this is only like 418 million pulse that went through this. This is going to have a lot bigger ratio, because there's a lot more pulse coming in behind it. That's fractions of a penny versus what we're getting right now. It's basically $1. It's like Pulse is more expensive than, or test Pulse is more expensive than $1, you know, than the DAI that's going in to feed it from the feeder. So we definitely feel like the numbers are going to be looking a lot better on mainnet. Just right now, that's my only complaint about I guess my boner, and then my flaccid boner in the same sentence.
Fantastic.
Donnie, what's your boner?
Well, mate, look, I got to tell you, I got to straight up throb for that arbitrage, that natural opportunity between native and third party. I mean, you know, that sounds like a threesome of you know, total value right there.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I think it's going to give us a lot of engagement right out the gate, because you know, the ratio is going to be flying on one side, and it's going to be pumping and dumping on the other side. So I'm with you on that. I like to see what's going to happen on. Yeah.
All right.
Nice little threesome, Donnie. Like it.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay, feels like we're right at home here.
Yeah. Do you guys have a version of Bertha, like a last man standing in the ecosystem?
So the Bertha mechanic within our ecosystem is what we identified as the goat pen. Basically, whenever DAI comes into the feeder, like I said, it gets turned into W Pulse, mints goat token, and the goat token is kept in the goat pen, which, yeah, I suppose you could liken to Bertha. Whenever we create future applications or new contracts, more things on the interface there, if it does happen to incur a fee of some kind or an excess, a rebalance, or whatever you want to call it, some way that there's more tokens that can be put to use somewhere, chances are it'll be turned into Pulse, then gets turned into Goat, gets thrown into the Goat pen. And the whole reason for that is because then, like I said, realistically, our biggest gamble at the moment is really the feeder contract, which is the fork of futures. You know, obviously we're going to need some intense volume to be able to properly pay that out, given the liabilities after 200 days. So, you know, yeah, basically the goat pen is the focus. Wherever we can, we're just going to keep on throwing more and more and more at that. You know, that's really how it works.
I like it. Let me step back a little bit and I ask both of you a question, since you brought up sheep. What do you think? What do you think was the biggest mistake you guys made in regards to sheep, and what do you think is the biggest good thing you guys, the biggest the best decision you guys made in regards to sheep?
I'd like to take this one first. So biggest mistake I would say with sheep token. Okay, there's actually two, because they're right side by side with each other.
Okay.
I got to admit, first of all, if I could have done things differently, I probably wouldn't have used the elite token tech for sheep token. I feel like we could have done something very different, but you know, it still turned out very cool. Second, but side by side to that, is I didn't do anywhere near enough scenarios or testing of the code prior to going to mainnet. You know, I had a lot of confidence in my own abilities, didn't test anywhere near enough, and it led to a lot of complications, especially post-migration to BNB with the token. You know, those who are in sheep token will know all about that. But probably the most amazing thing about it, probably my favorite thing about sheep token, is the all-time high price that we got up to when we were building value on Kronos. I think it was somewhere close to like $40 a piece was all-time high, or something ridiculous like that. You know, because everybody was just rallying together with community support. Everybody wanted to, you know, be on Kronos at that stage. You know, not many projects were there, and yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks the way it ended on Crow. But yeah, overall, it's like Sheep said, it's been a learning experience, and you know, we've had a lot of our community gather a lot closer as we've all sort of battled through these challenging things together. Yeah, that's really that's my piece.
Yeah, I think the timing was the worst thing that I can think of, because we got in basically when Crow was $1. You know, had a $500,000 raise, and basically that was just wiped out in the first few months of that that initial. I think it was the start of the where we just starting the bear market. Yeah, we're starting some big legs down, I think, on Bitcoin around that time, and yeah, it was just, you know, the rest is history. It came all the way down to like, what, 7 cents. By the time we went over to BNB wasn't doing too much better. So, and it's kind of one of those contracts that requires a lot of, I think a lot of, because once you get your buyers in there and they're holding, you know, they have no incentive to put fresh capital in to keep the system going. I think it's something that does require a bit of external rehypothecation, you know, revenue streams feeding into it to make it more worth everybody's while. So, and that's what we're working on now. We did it a little bit late, but we are officially building our liquidity in the Elephant Money ecosystem, and it's building great. I think we have like half the liquidity in Elephant Money just riding up, and it's already done. I know in the last month alone, it's done about 70% on what I put in there. So, so we're looking good. We're definitely not giving up on sheep, you know. But we're definitely looking forward to doing something better
exactly
here,
it.
which is very bottom. You know, we can't get any closer to the bottom of Pulse right now. You know,
I
with
know.
everything
It's
that's going on with
beautiful.
the SEC, I think we have a bright future. You know, we knock off
Right.
just 1-0 on Pulse, and like that's pretty much going to take care of all the liabilities for years to
Can
come.
we
You know, and I feel like we
can
can
we
really
can
make
we
a
linger
name for
there for a
ourselves here.
second? What do you
Yeah, go
guys
ahead.
think of the SEC and Pulse? What do you think? Tinfoil hat. What do you think the future has to hold for that?
I think the SEC is going to look dumb as shit. I think I think there's no challenge. I mean, Richard Hart has been one of those guys that you know, takes pride in his how he tests and like making sure everything is like as you know, SEC friendly as possible. So they're just, you know, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. That's my personal opinion. But you know,
What do you think,
other
Donnie?
people might have other opinions. What do you think, Donnie?
Look, I honestly don't really have much of an opinion with regards to like Richard or the SEC or anything like that. I mean, with regards to the way that I look at things, I enjoy the coding side of it. You know, the building, the production, you know, the working with other projects. It's you know, it is disappointing to see that we are still struggling this much with regulation and the SEC trying to throw stones at the crypto industry. I do think that they have a serious vendetta against the space, and it's, you know, very hypocritical of them to say, oh, we're just trying to protect investors, yet they're doing so much damage to the everyday retail participant, you know, just by, you know, throwing stones at these projects. Like, oh, you know, they rock markets in very negative ways. And, you know, to be honest, you know, call me a conspiracist or a tinfoil hatter, but it feels very intentional with the way that things coincide sometimes, you know. Yeah, but look, like I said, I try not to focus on that. I try to focus more on the building, the constructive side of things, like you described before. I guess the artwork of it all.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? All right. Side tangent again. What's the biggest problem in DeFi, and how do we fix it?
Oh, sheep. I'm going to go first. Biggest biggest problem in DeFi. I'm not in charge. No. 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 I'm sorry.
Sounds like a 4X answer.
Right. So, leader.
That's funny.
No, so I think the biggest problem in DeFi is that a lot of the time it's projects try to compete with one another. Right? When you're done.
No, go ahead, Donnie. I'm done.
I think projects don't work they don't work together. They like to compete and like in a sad sort of a sense, right? There's a lot of noise in the space of like, oh no, this thing's better, this thing's better, this thing's better. Yeah, I guess that's really the biggest problem. I think, you know, people like to say, oh no, you know, I did this, you know, no, fuck you, I'm not working with you, blah 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 blah. That's really all it is for me, collaboration wise.
That sounds like a
together,
cult.
right?
That sounds like a cult.
It's cold over here, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm a good cult. I don't require any blood sacrifices. You can keep your kids. It's awesome.
I mean, hey, we could have people sacrificing goats.
Nah, that's too messy. I don't want to clean anything up.
Oh.
Okay, so I think you guys have answered pretty much all my questions. What What do you? Maybe you can give us, like, for the people that fast forward. Give me, like, the elevator pitch. Give me, um, you know, sell me this pen. You know?
Sell me this pen.
Yeah.
Well, I can let Forex take it.
Oh, shut the fuck up for a minute. Shut the fuck up. This is Forex. All right.
No, I mean, like I said, we're trying to bring something fresh, something that hasn't been done before, because this is definitely an experimental project. Blending these two products together. But it does also prevent us from having to do any extensive like raises or anything like that right out the gate. It's totally fair launch. Everybody just get in. Just when we push the green button, you just go. Stack up as much goat as you can, get into the feeder. Feed yourself some passive income while you're also building a store of value, which is the goat token, which doesn't go anywhere but up, natively. So
when you're on Pulsechain, you need somewhere stable, you need somewhere safe, you need somewhere known, and that's what we're developing. That's what we set out to build a year and a half ago when we did say, let's create a token, let's build something on chain for our people. Whatever that turned out to be was always going to be for people to aggregate their value as a protocol and as a community. And so this latest iteration of contracts that we're putting out on Pulsechain and letting our community run with is exactly that. People get out into all these different contracts, these different dApps and miners and other weird things all the time. They might make some gains here and there. They might, lose some here and there. But overall, a place to come home when you are winning is basically what we've built here. And so we hope that people who are part of DGen Protocol will enjoy that and take advantage of it. Sell you this pen.
I like it. I have so many more questions, but I'm told that my AMAs run too long, but I love picking you guys' brains, to be honest.
I like your AMAs. Nice chill vibe. I feel like feel like part of the family here. So
yeah, thank you. So I want to open up the floor to if anybody has any questions, and if I don't, I'll throw one.
Please bring them.
I'll bring one or two last.
I'd love to hear from new people out there.
Anyone? Any questions from the gallery?
Hey guys, so I'm trying to wrap my head. I know Elephant Money is very bullish. It started out on this upward trend, and it had this situation that happened, and it went down. What's gonna keep the luster inside of GOAT? Rather than going outside the ecosystem, what's going to keep people inside? Is there something that's going to be like Bertha as well?
Yeah, good question. So basically, like we've pointed out, the GOAT token will grow with things as simple as the natural arbitrage between single asset price and third party price. And overall, that's going to push the price up of the token up and to the right in the most simplest terms. What happens then is, like we described as well, is building future applications on top of it. So things that, whether it takes a fee or whether it allocates extra tokens somewhere, that also gets turned into GOAT token. And then, basically there is a Bertha contract, like we described before. It's the GOAT pen, which is where all of the, where 90% of feeder deposits get turned into GOAT, and then that GOAT gets sent to be held onto. So, does that answer your question?
It really did. I just got extra bullish on this, bro.
Yeah,
excellent.
Also, you gotta keep in mind that this isn't like the final iteration by any means. Like, these are upgradable contracts. We can add to it along the way if we feel like we need to add something that's going to crank it up and turbocharge it along the way. We can always build onto this. So this isn't something like we're just gonna keep it in this form and that's it. We have a brilliant developer here. We have a brilliant, even more brilliant advisor of our project, and he's been able to help us along any hurdles we've come across. We feel like we're in good hands, and whatever this is just a starting point. Is what I'm trying to get at, and we do expect this to grow and be even more badass down the road. So
I like it. Sorry, I want to go back real quick. You mentioned external revenue. What are the plans for that? You said you already have stuff in the elephant ecosystem. Is that just for sheep, or is that going to be for goat too?
Yeah, that's for sheep. Yeah, that's for sheep.
Is there anything planned for goat? And are you ever going to combine the two?
Not currently. We don't have any plans, but I'm always thinking of, I'm always this is all I do all day long is just think of ways to make things better. So it's definitely going to be on the topic of discussion. We do have a lot of other revenue streams that I've been working with personally along the way that's outside of DeFi that we got some good things in mind, but we don't want to share all of our secrets here, But we do have a lot of good stuff that's coming down the pipe.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the audience?
Anybody else?
When the
Batter
launch
up.
expected?
When Lambo?
When Lambo went launch. So basically, like we mentioned earlier on in the presentation, we don't really like to do dates or times or anything like that. There's a certain other developer out there as well who would announce dates and times and 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Exactly.
3 minutes. Yeah.
Right. But so basically, rather than that, like I said, we would deliver regular updates of development and testing to the community channels. So if you're part of the DJM protocol chat on Telegram, then you'll be able to find out more there. Obviously, those that are testing will know more about when we're getting closer to release. Basically, it'll happen once we are all happy with how things have turned out or how things are running. I
do a lot of updating on Twitter too. So there'll be a lot of coming out to Twitter. DGen2_ protocol. That's our main account.
And what's the Telegram?
T.me / it's right here. DGen_ protocol.
So this won't be a whitelist situation. This is straight
like
get
that.
it how you live. Okay. All right.
Yeah, this is straight fair launch. Start at a ratio 1-to-1 and just watch it climb. We feel like the ratio is going to move a lot faster since we're stuck with the $1.59 price on testnet. It's not really moving this ratio as much, but I feel like when we get on mainnet, that's going to fly. It's going to be totally different. So I mean, we only have 32 people in here, 754 transactions, and only 418 million pulse, which is it's ridiculous how much we have.
Current price
500.
I have
we have $530,000 in liquidity.
Go on.
Do you think that there is a way that the Elephant Money community would come over to GOAT on Pulsechain?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we've already got a lot of Elephant Money people eyeballing us, of course, because we have half their community in our community too. So,
okay.
Yeah, we got a lot of Elephant Money whales in there. People are super excited about it, So, so we definitely are.
I am too. So, is there any particular reason you guys went with Pulse, or is it because of the tech that it allows, or is there a reason?
Well, we were originally going to launch on Pulsechain, but it took him 2 years to launch it, so we got stuck on Kronos and Binance in between. But I think everything happens for a reason, man. We're coming out just the right time. Now we got the SEC FUD that dropped the price to like rock bottom. I mean, I don't see a better opportunity on any chain to launch a project like this than where we're at right now.
So basically, so best case scenario, just going on from what you finished saying there, is the Pulse price is like rock bottom at the moment. So we start the feeder up, very shortly, taking DAI in, which is buying a crap load more Pulse than it would be without the FUD, right? So that crapload more Pulse creates a crapload more GOAT tokens, goes into the GOAT pen, and overall, as Pulse recovers, when the news breaks that everything's all good, skyrocket, basically.
I do like it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not financial advice and all that stuff.
No, of course, absolutely, but it'd be very nice to see it execute that way. So
this is completely experimental shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we do believe that it's got a lot of legs right out the gate, and it'll give us plenty of time to see how our adoption phase goes and make any adjustments we need to make and add to it along the way and just come out here and kick some ass, man, with something that hasn't been done. This is totally new. The way we've set these contract stuff together.
So I have another side question. You guys can tell me to stop talking anytime because I feel
you're good, man.
I love picking brains of people that have been in here longer than me and are actually successful at it, right? So as project developer, I don't like that word, but as a project architect, right? You Sheep, I consider you the architect, right? And Donnie is the engineer, right? What would you say? What would you say is like the most exciting thing about being in crypto for you guys from that perspective? You Sheep as an architect and you Donnie as like an engineer, builder. What's the most exciting thing about DeFi for you guys?
Sheep first.
What was the last question? What was the most exciting thing about DeFi?
Yeah.
So you as an architect, like of a project, what's the most exciting thing in DeFi?
Yeah, thinking of yourself as a builder, looking at yourself as a builder, not just a regular person, somebody who wants to create something. When you look at DeFi, what gets you the most excited about building in this space, in this ecosystem?
I guess just the idea of just launching new ideas and new projects to help, like previous ideas that we had come to life. I mean, the thing I like the most about our immediate the DeFi space we're in is like a lot of the projects that we've been in stemmed from my community. Like because we were in Tron Chain way back in the day. I don't know if you ever heard of Tron Chain. So Tron Chain is what is actually the idea that we brought to Bank Teller to launch the flow contract. That's where we got the 15 levels deep on the referral system. Great for onboarding and getting team builders in there and stuff like that. And that's what became the flow project. And then you had so many other clones that came after that. Drip being the most successful one, I guess you could say, with a little bit of a different taxation. He took Bank Teller's idea, made it a little bit longer, a little bit better and more sustainable for the short term. And I just feel like. And then all the Furios and the Arcs and everything that came along. It's kind of cool just seeing these ideas come to life and take different shapes and forms. And that's what we're doing here is we're taking the best of what we've been able to see, what has worked and has been around the longest so far, and just the idea of the tokenomics and just all the mechanics coming together to create something that we have here that we feel is like really super sustainable and it's definitely not going to be here today, gone tomorrow. And everybody can get in at the same when you're in the feeder, you have the same. Sorry, I took a hit. you have the same opportunity as everybody else, right? You have the same opportunity as everybody else. You don't have to worry about with Drip. We had the big pumps and the big dumps, and you had to time your entry. With the feeder, you don't have to really time your entry. You just get in. Everybody gets in at their dollar amount. They get paid out in their dollar amount. It's not anything that's hyperinflationary. Like we've taken all the no-nos, the bad things that we learned from all these ROI projects that we've been in, and we learned what is good, what is bad. We put them all together, and here you have GOAT. Here you have goat. And we're just super excited about what we have, where we've been, where we're at now, and we like to be one of those names that you never forget about in the DeFi space. You know, that's what I like about. That's what I like
Sounds
about the
like
DeFi space.
you kind of just described like a rap battle.
Right? I like it.
So are there any differences between this and Elephant Money? If there are, what are they?
Yeah, let me grab this one. So realistically, the biggest difference between Elephant Money and Degen Protocol or Goat Token is one's an elephant, the other's a goat. No. No. So probably the biggest thing is the mechanics, which we changed up in the futures or feeder contract. Like we described, when people deposit into the feeder, DAI comes in, gets turned into Pulse, and that mints Goat token, which is that's not what Elephant Money does with their futures, right? And the same goes for the claiming process, right? If the buffer pool needs to be topped up for people's claims, then it'll redeem the certain amount of Goat token needed to get the right amount of Pulse that buys the DAI required to pay out reward and top up the pool. So, largely it's the difference is that I would say because of the way that bank tellers sort of coached us through this one as well, I would say this is like an iteration of Elephant Money. So, yeah.
So you didn't try to fix it because Elephant Money wasn't broken. You kind of just enhanced it.
No.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, you can't break Elephant.
We've seen the way that futures worked. We've seen the way that Trumpet works, and at the end of the day, we've seen how the two of them working together seems to row in the direction that we're trying to go. Like we mentioned, we want Goat token to appreciate in that single asset ratio and value. And the best way to do that is to put volume on the mint and redemption functions, which Feeder does an excellent job of. And then, of course, like the ideas that we'd mentioned and discussed briefly, like the lending or the NFTs, if anything takes a fee, it's all getting turned into Goat tokens, sent to the Goat pen to increase that ability to pay out any liabilities. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, one's an elephant, one's a goat.
I like that.
Good times.
Yep.
Take my goddamn money. You guys are gonna have to let me know when this starts so I can be at my desk waiting.
Hell yeah.
I do want to play.
Yeah,
I do want to play. Not financial.
Cool, man. Love it. Yeah, I want to play too.
What else do you think? What else should we know? I think we've covered everything. I mean, I have a lot of generic DeFi questions, but I don't really have any more questions that relate to the project itself. I think you guys have covered it all pretty much, succinctly. So, what else what do you think I haven't covered? What do you think I haven't asked? Is there anything that you're dying to talk about?
I think we're pretty good, to be honest, dude. We've covered everything about Goat token and how that works, and we've gone through the Goat feeder, the referral mechanics of that, how people win properly, what it's like and what it's not. So I think we're all good. All I'd say, in final remarks, is we're on YouTube every single day for the Crypto Black Sheep show. If you're not in our Telegram, definitely join in there already. We're currently running all of this that you've seen here today on Pulsechain testnets. So if you would like to help out with testing, if that interests you at all, then definitely join the Telegram, and we will help you get stuck into that as well. We would love to see more people helping us to flex these contracts and test their capabilities, make sure that they're working right, because then, of course, a well-tested contract that goes to mainnet is less likely to have problems. And all that sort of thing. Or at least that's the idea. So, Look, guys.
Yeah, if you guys
other than
want to
that,
test, we can get you free test pulse. I've got plenty of it.
Okay.
yep.
And
So do I.
if you go into
Can you
the
forward that to
protocol,
the
come
room?
over to.
Can you
Yeah, I
forward
will.
that to the
Yeah,
room?
forward
as well,
right here. Yes, I will.
And
Yeah.
I've got a filter in the room. If you type in DGen protocol. Sorry, I took a rip.
Respirator.
All right.
I saw that. The DGM protocol filter. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just type it in, it'll give you a link to their room. So just type in
Trying to find
DGen
your.
protocol.
I'll
Just type in CCD. CCD.
Oh, it's CC.
Yeah,
Oh,
CCD.
CCD. Oh, there we go. Okay. There it is. All right. Yeah, and if you need a test post, just let me know. I got plenty. I can send it out to you. Just send me your address, and you guys can get in here and test it out. Take her for a spin.
I'm done with it.
Me too.
Yeah, we're super excited, guys.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see what it's going to be.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for coming here. You guys, I always appreciate people coming here and talking to me. But you guys have been quite fun today. I feel like I was talking to some friends.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Well,
Thanks very much for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us over here,
on my
man.
side of the fence. I don't come into other groups too often, but I'll definitely stop by and say hi.
Yeah,
I'll keep you guys posted.
yeah. I've been stalking you guys for a little while. I think I like both. I'm a fan. I'm a groupie.
Right on. Good, man. Good stuff.
So thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna post the video on my YouTube thing soon, and I'll forward the video for you. And I hope perhaps you guys can come back post-launch, and
For sure.
we can see where things are going.
Update
and, we'll go from
statistics.
there. Yeah, please.
All that, yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I think maintenance can be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can you any
It makes more sense.
guesstimates? Any guesstimates as when we'll be starting to play? I know that's not fair, but like any guesstimates?
Well,
a month, a year, 1,000 years?
Yeah, we're shooting for 2 to 3 weeks is what we told AJ. So so probably like late October.
All right, I dig it. It looks like you guys are well on your way. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't be ready to go by then.
What'd you say, Cryptogon?
So.
I said as long as they're not on Forex time, it's good.
3 minutes.
No. When we set the date, it's going to be for sure, and it's going to go off good.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
No bullshit.
This shit sounds bullish. I'm
Push
really
the
looking
button
forward
and
to it.
go.
Yes.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right.
Absolutely.
I will see you in the next one. And my next AMA is Storm Money on Monday. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for stopping by.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks.